Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So we're working on a rifle this time. A lot of my videos are all sort of pistol based, but I do tinker with a lot of my rifles. Now, this is a new project we're starting. I acquired this ar15 style receiver set reasonably cheaply, and it's missing a load of parts which I have since acquired, and we're going to do a build out of this. So this was originally off it's a VFC, and it's an sr16. Now, I don't know a great deal about the sr16, but what I do know from just looking at the receiver set is obviously it's ambidextrous. Obviously we've got a 3-position fire selector. We've also got this QD mount at the back here, ambidextrous selector as well, and ambidextrous magazine catch, which is your standard KAC stuff, because obviously it's a knight's armament. Now, this does come all fully traded. I don't know the ins and outs of why the receiver set has been left like this. Someone either purchased the receiver set and started to build the rifle up and then stopped midway through, or alternatively they've stripped the internals for another project. I've just noticed we've got the Knight's Armament logo on the trigger guard there, which is nice. As you can see, it's wearing a horribly painted Magpul grip, which we'll sort out at some point. It's been painted some awful colours in the past by the looks of things. And internally, it is all there. Let me just pop the pins out so we can see. So, in regards to the lower, it is all complete. So we've got our full fire control group in here. This is a V3 set as well. All fully working, no problems at all. Even has a buffer and spring in here. Now, we're going to use this as a base to build up into something different. I've got quite a few AR-based gas blowback rifles, but I'm really wanting a super short AR if I can, like pistol-style AR. So that's what we're going to use this rifle for a base for. So that's the intention, is to make some kind of very super short pistol-based AR. At the moment, I am probably going to keep the full-length buffer tube and just fit a small stock on it. But I have bought all the other bits and pieces to be able to make this, as far as I'm concerned, fully functioning. So, like I say, our lower is complete. And as far as I can tell, has got very little, if any, wear on it as well. So, in very, very good condition. I've just made a hash of this. Why is that locked in place? There's me messing around with it for no reason. Anyway, I shall sort that out at a later stage. So yeah, the lower is all complete there, and we have our upper here, which is just marked 5.56 KS1. And other than that, it's got the Knights logo on the back here with a standard. I believe this might even be real steel, you know. Charging handle. So, but yeah, so I'll show you the parts we've got for this build. Nothing fancy, but I needed parts, so I recently got a package from Action Airsoft, which you would have hopefully already seen. One of the main things I got with it, but I ordered a load of parts, for VFC parts at the same time. So I have dust cover. I have a Z Parts barrel nut, steel barrel nut. This is a 416 barrel nut, which I don't think it's going to cause me too much of a problem. The threading should be the same. It's just so I can adapt it to fit a rail of some description on. Haven't decided what rail yet. I have a hop unit and receiver bush. I have a fresh bolt carrier and nozzle. I thought this was a V3, but actually this is a V2 nozzle set and bolt set, which is a shame, but it's a zinc alloy one, it's not a steel one. I could have gone down the steel route, but I'm actually wanting to keep the weight down on the bolt carrier here. So I'm actually going to do a few modifications on this to make it lighter. You could argue I probably haven't gone for the right one because it should really have the steel part in the back here to protect it against the auto sear, but I didn't know that when I ordered it, so this is what I've got. So this is what we're going to make work. And then I've got a nice short outer barrel here. This is a 10.5 inch. So this is what we'll be using for our build. So like I said, we're going to be making a fairly short rifle here. I haven't decided what other parts I'm going to use yet. I'm just going to source stuff. But for now, I want to get this built up to the point where it's functioning, or at least should be functioning. There'll be some clearancing and bits and pieces to do as well, which I'll need to sort out. One other part I have is the forward assist, which is fake in the VFCs anyway. Doesn't do anything, but at least it plugs the hole. So yeah, we're going to start installing some of these parts onto this upper so it can then be used in conjunction with our complete, basically lower. And then we can start building it up and get into a working rifle. So I'm going to start unpacking all this stuff and we'll see where we're at from there. So to start off with, I'm going to install the failure button, as they can refer to it, or the forward assist, the fake forward assist here. The nice thing with this little set is it comes with the forward assist, which is steel, and the pin. So I'm going to pop that into place, push it through, and then I'm going to need to get the pin in there to hold that in position. Now, I expect the holes to be fairly tight because it looks like this receiver has never had anything in it before. So it looks like it's completely fresh and never had anything inside it. If you look inside, you can see there's no wear from a bolt carrier at all, which again leaves me a little puzzled as to why this is like this. I say it might just be that it's got a, it's a different receiver set and someone started to build up an sr16 and gave up on it. So I've no idea. But anyway, we want to try and get this in now. So this is a roll pin. So I'm going to need to start it to begin with and then get the forward assist button in place. So I'm going to get it started. There we go, that's going in now. So I'm going to get the forward assist button in place. And I'm going to tap this in. Now that is going to hold for now. I haven't got it all the way in yet because obviously I don't want to club it with my hammer and end up damaging the receiver. So I'm going to use one of my punch sets, which these are fantastic. You can buy these quite cheaply from China, but it is what they use for doing front sights on real steel pistols. It's a super, super hard nylon. Really good for punching these things in. So I'm going to use one of these to drift that further in. That's going in nicely. Yeah, almost in. A little bit more. Yeah, we're basically there. I'm just going to give it one last tap in there. I think we'll be fine. Let's get that knocked in. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. There's a little bit of a bit poking out. I'm just going to give it a tap with this. Okay, so there's our forward assist fitted. Not that it does anything because in the VFCs it is non-functional. So next thing we're going to install. Now, I've obviously got my barrel bushing and hop unit here. Now, I'm going to need to put that in before I go fit in the barrel. But before I fit the barrel, I do need to fit the dust cover. Now, again, this is for Airsoft. This is not really a functional item, but at the end of the day, it does complete the look. Now, to be fair, I have got some dust covers that I purchased from China, which they're probably real steel fitment, and I dare say they probably would work in conjunction with this, but you know, this was very cheap, so I thought I'd just order the correct one. Then there's no issues with it fitting. We've obviously got our spring here and our pin, and on the pin there's a little E-clip as well. Now, when installing this in, it will most likely be, I think the pin is on this side. So your pin goes through there and the E-clip this side, because the barrel nut will push against it, which will stop it coming forwards, and it can't come out this way. So I need to put that in place. So get that in. It's very stiff. And then I need to put the spring in place. The Airsoft ones have this little tang. You can see that. It's like a little hook on it. That goes inwards towards the receiver slightly. And then I can push the pin through. And then all the way through, and then get it lined up the other side to come through the receiver. There we go, like so. And that's now installed. Now, it could come out this way, but we're going to have a barrel nut on the end here, which is going to stop that happening. But that locks in place nicely and pops open. So that's it. Very happy with that. That'll be fine. Now we're going to build up the hop unit. I must say it's great that you can get these parts quite readily, because this is the kind of stuff which does fail sometimes. So it's great that the VFC sell this stuff so you can get hold of it easily enough. Get these staples out. Right. So we've got our internals to our hop unit there. Our main hop unit. The bushing, that's it. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the hop unit goes together. Now, I thought I ordered a ring type here, so you could adjust it from the collar on the outside, which I think I have, but I don't have the collar to adjust it, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm going to have to order the collar, but for now it doesn't stop me building the hop unit up. Now, obviously, we're going to need a barrel. Now, I'm a bit short on barrels, so all I've got at the moment is a slightly longer pistol barrel, which is obviously going to affect FPS. But if we look at where the hop unit sits and how far down it goes down the barrel, it's over sort of, you know, halfway. So I will get a slightly longer barrel and probably get a better barrel to be able to go full length anyway. But for now, we're going to obviously build it up with this one. So I need a hot rubber for it. Now, I did have a maple leaf ready to go in this, but I had to use it for a different project. So for now, I'm just going to use a fairly standard basic hot rubber, which is fine just for, I just want to get it functional to start off with, rather than going down any route of, you know, upgrading at all. So that's a basic hot rubber in there. That will fit in there nice. Okay, right, so let's build this hop unit up then. Now, all these parts, that appears to be metal, which is good, as does this collar here, which appears to be steel, so that's good. So first things first, obviously we need to install the barrel in place. Now, which way round is that going to go? So if I put that in there, it looks like your hop contact is on the top there, because that will be going through there. So that's fine. So that means that there should be a cutout on the side for the hot rubber, which there doesn't actually appear to be, which is quite odd. How unusual. I guess it sits further back. Yeah, that's what happens. It sits further back, so that's not a problem. So for now then, Got to install that. Move this forward a bit so you guys can see it. So the contact patch is in the top there, which the window's there, so that is going to go like so. Now, my barrel I've got here is actually not going to work very well with this because it needs the extra cutout on the front, which is a shame. So I'm going to have to find myself another barrel to use. I might have a shorter one that might fit it. Like I said, I'm a bit short on inner barrels. I've used them on a few projects so far and I'm just running a bit low, so I need to order myself another set of inner barrels. No, I've only got ones which don't have that extra cut, which is unfortunate. So I think for now then, I'm just going to modify this one so I can make it work with this. So I'm going to pause the video for the moment and I'm just going to file. Basically what I'm going to do here is, you can see in the hop unit there are 2 lugs and the barrel only has the 1 cut out for that lug. So I'm going to create an extra slot here so it'll work in conjunction with this. It's the longest barrel I've got, so making a little notch in it isn't going to hurt it, so I'll do that now. I shall report back shortly. Alright guys, so I've filed in an extra notch here, hopefully you can see that. So that's going to give me clearance to then fit into the hop unit. So before I fit the hop unit in, obviously what I do need to do is to install the arm. So the arm is going to go in there. Now I'm probably going to do this on the other one actually, because then that will give me my clearance I need to get the barrel in place. So that will go in there like so. And then obviously this will then clip on the other side. Like so. And that will hold in place. You can see we've got clearance around the outside here. And I'm just going to secure those with the 2 screws that are supplied. So 1 in there, 1 in there. Let's wind those in. So just tighten those up. Okay, they're in there. And this, I would assume, is going to be like a spacer or something in here. I'm not too sure what that's for, if I'm honest. I'm guessing it's a spacer. It could actually be for in this side, potentially. Oh, I see what it is. It's actually a locking ring, I think, for that. Yeah, it looks like it is for the hop rubber. I might have had to install that first, actually. So let's unscrew that. Now, I've never actually messed around with taking apart a VFC M4 hop unit. So this is, I'm just guessing with this stuff. I've never done it before. So if you're wondering why I'm fiddling about and not really looking like I know what I'm doing, it's because I don't. I've never messed around with one of these before. Right. Yeah, I can see exactly how this goes now. So that's got to go over the hop rubber, I think. And that's like a locking part there. Yeah, so it goes like that. Right, so that has got to go over the hop rubber. Now, how's that going to work with that? So that's going to go like that, I would guess. Yeah. So the downside is that is going to interfere with the little lug that's on the side here. So whether or not the hop unit is designed, let me check the packaging, see what it says. Okay, so I've been an idiot and ordered one with guide hop. So what guide hop is that you have like an adjustment right on the end of the barrel on the gas block that you can adjust. So, you know, I've been stupid and ordered this one. I'm probably going to have to order the right one now I've opened it, but it's fine. At least I'll have a spare. My other VFCs have this system anyway, so it's not a problem. So I think I might have to trim that lug off there, which is a shame. I didn't really want to go down that route, considering this is, you know, just a random hot rubber that I didn't want to butcher. But I don't see any other way of doing it, unfortunately, so I think I'm going to have to do that. So I'll trim that off. Get my knife. Okay, going to trim this off. Almost trimmed it. Okay, there we go. So that's been trimmed off now. There we go. So that should be okay now. So hopefully then I can slide that over there. Yep. That will then lock into place, hopefully. It needs to go on a little more. Maybe a tiny bit more. Yep, that appears to be going in okay. Lovely. All right, so I'm going to put the hop arm in. And then install the other side. There we go. That all seems to be locked in place, so I can put the screws back in. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be running this outer barrel. I am going to be changing it for a different one, something that's a bit longer, and probably go for like a maple leaf or something. I have got a couple of odd barrels floating around. I might have a look, see if I've got something that's the right size. But for now, this will be fine, just so we can get it working. So this then will obviously fit into here. Now, obviously, this also doubles up as your ramp for guiding in PBs. So we need to slide that in position. That's it. Let's go a little bit further in. I think that is bottomed out. Yeah, that appears to be all the way in. And then that will then fit into the end of our receiver, which now means we can fit our outer barrel. So again, let's get this out. Now, I haven't gone in for anything fancy, no steel parts here. These are just all aluminium. I believe the chamber here is steel, but the outer barrel is aluminium. And there's a good reason why I've done that, because I'm trying to keep the weight down on this build. I don't want it to be too heavy. So let's have a quick look at what that barrel is. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a 10.5 VFC M4 outer barrel. Right. Now, I can see in this, there is a hex head one side, and on the other side here, which just holds like a little spacer in. I assume that's going to work fine for what I need. So let's just slide that on for now and see if that will lock in place. No. Now, normally this window would have an adjustment wheel on it, because obviously it's for you know, for adjusting the hop. Now, I would say this hop unit needs to go in a bit further. That's what my feeling is, that it needs to go in a bit further, but it didn't seem to want to. So I'm just going to give it a bit of persuasion, see if it will go in a little bit further. Yeah, that's gone in all the way now. So that will now fit back in place. And then our outer barrel should go on there, no problem. There we go, lovely. So that's gone in there nicely. And now what we're going to do is fit our barrel nut. So again, this is a Z Parts barrel nut. And again, the reason why I've gone for this is not because I particularly wanted a steel barrel nut, just because it was all that was available, and I'm going to be fitting a rail on the front of this anyway, so it's not going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to pop that over and tighten that down. Now there might be some wobble, so I might have to use some spacers to be able to get that tight, but actually it looks like it's tightening up nicely there. That our barrel is in there tight. And there is our upper receiver. And the last thing we need to install is our charging handle. In there like so. And then obviously we've got our bolt carrier. Now this is an end pass bolt carrier. So in the end here there is a hex screw, so I can adjust the FPS from there, which is what I was after. It's a reasonably heavy bolt, but what I intend to do is this back section I'm going to start drilling out to cut the weight down slightly, but actually that's a bit lighter than I thought it might be, so that's good. So right, last but not least, this needs to go back in. And there we go, there's our upper. The bare bones upper anyway, assembled. So let's get our lower. I'm going to try and sort out that part there. There we go. And we're going to install that on there. One pin through, rear pin through. Okay. Something's jammed at the moment, so I'm going to pop those pins back out again to see what's the problem is. Cool, that pin's tight. Okay. I don't see any issues. Everything appears to be okay. Hammer is cocked. That all seems to be fine. Let's try again. Let's not put the pin through this time. See if we can cock it. We can. That's good. Pin back through. Yeah. Okay. So we now should have a working rifle. So I'm going to go get a magazine. I'm going to try them out. Okay, so we have one of my BCM mags. Let's pop that in. Okay, bolt locks to the rear, which is good. Got a slide release that side, which is nice. Let's see how she cycles. Nothing. Okay, let's just check we've got gas. We do have gas. Let's try again. Okay. So at the moment, we've got a light strike. So now I know that this is a VFC V3 system. Now, as I only recently found out through a very informative channel, which if you guys don't know, please check them out. Explosive Enterprises did say that we do have an adjustable valve striker here on the hammer. So I can adjust that out slightly, which means that our striker is going to hit a bit further in with a bit more force and stay open for a little bit longer. So we'll try adjusting that, see if that works. Let me just try popping the mag in and making sure it is locating in the correct place. It's not over travelling or anything. That bloody bolt lock is being temperamental again. There we go. Yeah, it seems to be in there okay. Okay, that seems to be okay. Now if I pull the hammer back, okay. Now I can straight away see what's going on here. So what is happening is when I pull the trigger there at the moment, if we look inside the receiver, you can see hopefully underneath this tang here, which is for your bolt hold open. When I pull the trigger, the striker comes forward, which is what's then hitting the valve on the back of the magazine, which is then sending gas through the router into the nozzle and then working the action. Now at the moment, if I put the magazine in, now because the hammer was forwards, hopefully you'll be able to see it here. I'll try and get a good angle so you can see it. It's difficult for me to see, to be fair. It'd be easier with this out of the way. So, okay, hopefully you can see in here now. What's happening is because the hammer's forwards, the striker is sitting just above the valve, because the valve moves up out the way as you insert the magazine. Now, when I cock the hammer, that is starting to pull the striker back, and as I pull the striker back, that should come back further, but it's not. It's still sitting above the valve. So when I pull the trigger, we're just getting a pop, which is obviously not then releasing any gas. So there's clearly something wrong with the striker in here. Now, I wasn't made aware of this, obviously. I bought this secondhand. So this is going to take a little bit more investigation. So probably going to call the video there for now as a bit of a fail, actually. But we've at least got the rifle assembled. And I can then work on why this isn't working correctly. I imagine it's just a clearancing thing. And I might need to adjust something to make it work correctly. So we will see. But it could just be that the actual striker, this section is separate and will lift out. So I'm probably going to have that out and just check to make sure everything's fitted correctly. What I was talking about a moment ago was I can adjust. There's a little Allen key head inside the hammer here. You can see it in here, which I can wind in or out to expel more gas, which isn't going to help me here because the valve striker is not resting on top of, like, in line with where we want it to. So effectively we want that to be back slightly. So yeah, I'm going to have a look and see what's going on with that. It could be that there's actually a mechanical fault somewhere. The valve doesn't seem to want to come back very easily. It should come back that far. So at the moment it seems to be getting stuck, which I would say maybe there's some grease in there, or maybe the spring has failed. So I might need to get a new spring for it. But if I just tap it back, it does pop back quite easily. So I think it might need taking apart and cleaning. But that'll be for another video. So there's our kind of semi-assembled, semi-fully working rifle there. So I'm going to do a little bit of investigation on this next time. I will bring you along for the ride, guys, but here's our completed semi-completed working rifle now, ready for us to build up into whatever we want it to be. Now, feel free to give me some ideas on what to do with this, guys, externals wise. I might keep the Magpul grip, even though I'm going to have to remove this horrible black paint. Colour wise, I think I might keep it black, but you guys let me know. I could always do a different colour on here potentially. Let me know what kind of rails you want to go for. I have got an old sort of rail that could maybe go on the front of there potentially, if that's the kind of thing that we could go. I really wanted something a bit shorter, if I'm honest, so I'll be looking out for a short rail. I might even adapt this one, who knows. But I have got a few other rails I can use, so let me know what you guys would do with it. Again, like, share, subscribe. Have any questions, fire away in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.